Hey everyone, Clawland here. This is Left Hand Reviews number 63, and today we're going to take a look at Scoville Labs. Scoville Labs is the first expansion for Scoville, so if you don't know how to play Scoville and you haven't watched my Scoville review, you should go take a look at that now. Scoville Labs is a small box expansion, and what it basically does is adds a laboratory board for each player, which allows them to crossbreed additional peppers that are for themselves only, as opposed to the crossbreeding that happens on the main board for everyone. So it also includes some extra recipe cards and some additional tokens, some additional peppers. But for the most part, you're really getting the lab variant or lab addition to the game. So basically I'm just going to show you the lab board and kind of quick tell you the overview of the rules for it. I've already integrated this all into my Scoville base game, so I don't really feel like pulling it all apart again, and it's not really necessary anyway. So let's take a look at the lab. I want to show you a couple of the components before I tell you briefly about the rules. So of course you're going to get another little small full color rule book. You're going to get the nuts and bolts of the expansion, which are the labs here. Each player has a lab. You can see that it can hold 9 different peppers. And it includes a whole new set of these crossbreeding charts, which are actually really cool. So instead of the grid that you are used to in the base game, where it's kind of like an X and Y axis and you see where they intersect, this explains them in a different way, which is really cool because my brain works a little bit better with these definitions. So for example, it says any primary with itself breeds 2 of itself. Or down here, any secondary with itself breeds a black. Or any secondary with a different secondary breeds a white. So in my opinion, these rules are a lot easier to memorize and than trying to remember the X and Y axis. Now, of course, they breed exactly the same, and some of the smart people out there, the mathematicians and the statisticians, probably already figured out that, or whether they really knew it or not. But again, I like these a little bit better. The only downside of these is they don't have the turn summary on the back, whereas these ones do. But you could just have one of each, I guess. Also, another thing I want to show you is some of the market cards. So you'll see here some of these market cards now have an ability on them, like a move 1 extra step or a double back once. So that's pretty cool because it can give you those extra actions. Now the caveat to that is if you use this market card for that action, you lose the victory points. So you either keep it till the end of the game for the victory points or you use it as the action. So basically what happens is each player is going to get one of these lab boards and they're going to place it in their play area. Also, each player is going to have an additional plant 1 extra pepper tile. Those come with the expansion, so you'll have 2 of those total. And basically what happens is on your turn you have to place a pepper in the field as normal, and then you may, if you choose, place a pepper into your laboratory. You can see all these different laboratory vats here with spaces for peppers. Now one thing Team G did is made the cutouts for these peppers a little bit bigger to account for the variation in the cutting of the wood peppers, which is really, really nice. So they all fit in there just fine rather than having to kind of jam them in on the original base game. So it's really cool that they thought of that. So again, plant a pepper in the field, plant a pepper in one of your laboratory vats. Now, the laboratory vats will breed automatically and immediately the second you place a new pepper in there, and you'll gain the appropriate peppers based on the crossbreeding chart. So the first pepper you place, if you plant it here, for example, is not going to do anything. Then if you place another pepper here, these 2 are going to breed. And then later, let's say you place a pepper here, these 2 will breed. You place another pepper here, these 2 and these 2 will breed. Once this is full, all 9 spaces, then you can no longer put any more in there. And you probably usually won't fill this up given the amount of turns that there are in the game. I guess it's different depending on the player counts. I found that when we play, we didn't usually even fill this up. Also, a quick caveat to this is even though other players don't gain any peppers from this, which is great, you're not allowed to grab any of those bonus plaques by planting into your laboratory. These bonus plaques still can only be obtained by planting in the main field. And lastly, another cool thing that this comes with is purely just fun, is this Hot Stuff card that you can see right there. The Hot Stuff card, basically you get, if you win the game, you take a picture with it. The card tells you to tweet it, which is pretty funny. And what it does is it kind of gives you a quick special ability, I think go first in the next game or something, the next time you play the game. So I like how TMG kind of innovates with fun little things like that that you just don't think about or see in other games. So there you go, Scoville Labs. Like I mentioned, it's a small expansion, there's not a lot of rules, but it does add a fair amount to the game. So let's wrap it up and I'll give you my review. So really that's all there is to Scoville Labs. You have that lab board, you plant peppers on it, they crossbreed. It gives you basically quicker ways to earn peppers. It does drive the scoring of the game up quite a bit. And sometimes can generate the end of the game a little bit faster because there's more peppers flying around. I do like what this adds to the game. It's not a lot, it's not a huge addition, but it's a fun little thing that you can do because you don't have to worry about the peppers on the board and people blocking things. You can be a little more strategic with your planting on this board here. The caveat to that though, the biggest caveat, again, is you do not collect bonus plaques for planting in this. So this is a great way to get some of the higher level peppers like the phantom peppers because you can plant things in here perfectly to make sure you get the phantom peppers and know that the other players aren't going to accidentally or purposely steal those phantom peppers from you on the main board. But you forego those extra bonus points on the bonus plaques, which are huge numbers of points. I mean, you can get 6, 8 plus points for those, which is quite a bit in the scope of the game. But the ability to get those higher level peppers quicker means you probably have a better chance of getting better market tiles or better recipes sooner. So it's a little bit of a trade-off there. So overall, I did enjoy Scoville Labs. It is priced very competitively, which is good because it doesn't add a tremendous amount to the game. I wouldn't want to be paying $30, $40 for this, obviously. I think they priced it just right. It's your typical GMT, good quality, nice components. I like that they added extra peppers. I've played this with 4 and I have yet to have to use the extra pepper tiles. So that's really cool. We've come close, but with the extra peppers here, it really prevents that from happening. So, Scoville Labs. If you like Scoville, I would definitely add the Scoville Labs expansion to your collection. If you like the sound of Scoville Labs and you still haven't looked at my Scoville video, take a look at that because this is a really good game, and I would definitely add this to my collection if you like the sound of it. So, thanks for watching Left Hand Reviews number 63. Stay tuned for our next episode, and thanks for watching.